How you feeling today, man?
Tired, man.
Tired? Sally, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's another beautiful day. Welcome to the J.D.I 5K event. Nike's hosting here in Nike Santa Monica. My first question for you is, what does running do for you?
Question, man. To be honest with you, I used to hate running before I started working out.
Running for me, it's brings me peace. Like, makes me feel good about myself. I don't know, it just brings some sanity to my life.
I feel like this run is a really nice, like a fun run for all of us to kind of get together and do this, especially at 7 in the morning.
How did you prepare yourself for today?
Well, mentally, I kind of just got there and like kind of realized that, okay, this is a run for you to kind of go out there and do what you can do.
Well, I got up a little tired, that's for sure. At first alarm, I was still down. I just been prepping for it, you know, just running 2 more miles every other day, trying to stay prepared, you know.
Essentially, I've been, except for Saturday and Sunday, I've been running the 5K every day in the morning.
I don't really prepare. I don't really do like specific like warm-ups or anything like the night before. I just kind of realize and understand that what I'm going to be doing is something that will help me for the future or for now, or help me kind of understand myself better and more.
You just said that you did a marathon before this. Do you think that prepared you for today? It's put you in a position to be able to go out here and do this with ease?
Kind of, and not really. Like, yes and no.
Yes or no?
No, because I'm still like pretty messed up after the 42 kilometers.
Yeah.
So I barely started running last week. And yeah, because since I had prepped all that running before, I feel like I'm not completely out of it.
All right, and my last question to you today is, did you have a pre-run snack or meal?
No, I just had an energy drink.
That energy drink? Why don't you eat before a race?
I don't want to feel too heavy.
I was thinking about having coffee and some bagels, but I don't want to feel bad after, so I'm going to just hold off on eating until after the run, because I'm basically running for food. I don't feel like eating because I don't think I'll do my best until I run. I'd rather eat after because it makes me feel better about myself once I'm done running and once I kind of release the stress that I've had or whatever it was, you know, the week of.
This morning, nah, bro. I just got out of bed, brushed my teeth, and hopped on the bike to get over here. Last night, not really. I just had ice cream before I went to bed.
It was a real pleasure. Thank you so much for stepping up and doing the documentary with us. I also want to take a moment and tell you that Nike is giving us the opportunity to let you run in the brand new Joyride to the event today. No problem. Oh, hey guys, how you guys doing today?
Good.
All right. Thank you guys for taking part into the J.D.I 5K today. Congratulate Beckett for being the first finisher of the race. Yeah, go ahead and clap it up for him. Go ahead and clap it up. Yeah. Face of a champion right there. I just want to ask you guys a couple questions just to, get you guys experience. So, one by one, can y'all tell me how did you guys enjoy this run? How did you guys enjoy the 5K event?
I enjoyed it. It was actually a lot of fun doing it with our store, specifically at Nike Santa Monica, and running with your peers, your coworkers, your friends. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
I liked it a lot. It was fun. It was fun, like waking up early and, like she said, running with my peers, kind of motivating each other, like a reason to get out of bed early and do something great. Ready to start your day.
Now, Jose, you ran in the Joyrides today. I wanted to ask, compared to other shoes you've ran in, like how would you fare the Joyrides among them?
I gotta say they're not my favorite.
Not your favorite?
They're not my favorite running shoes. They were good though. They were pretty comfy. Given the distance, they were alright. I'm pretty sure if I would have ran a little bit more, I would have preferred other shoes.
What Nike shoe would you prefer?
Oh man, if I could run in next percent every time, that would be my go-to shoe.
So Beckett, beat the winner of the race. I wanted to ask you, how did you feel about the theme of this, trying to outrun the sun? Since you came in first, you firsthand got to experience that. So tell me a little bit about it.
I loved it. Like I love to wake up early. Like I like to get up before the sun. I like to run in the morning, so it was really fun. I liked it a lot.
How did you feel about the race?
It was hard in the beginning, but kind of picked up the pace as well. Like they said, beating the sun kind of motivates you to go on throughout your day. To get you started, take a cup of coffee in the morning, but instead you're doing a cup of a run.
It was cool because we got to experience a little bit, the temperature was a little bit cooler when we started. It started warming up towards the end. But I agree with Sally, it was tough getting out of bed, but at the end of it, no regrets.
Do you prefer running during the sunrise or the sunset?
I prefer to run midday, around when it's really hot.
Sunrise. Yeah, I like to run in the mornings.
In the morning?
So I like to like start my day that way. I just feel great for the rest of the day.
I like running during the sunset. Because you get to enjoy, especially on the boardwalk.
Running ships are covered. Yeah, all running ships are covered. We got a well-balanced meal here. Well-balanced running diet. Speaking of well-balanced running diet, Beckett, what's going to be your post 5K treat?
Let's see. Probably some water, maybe a Gatorade.
Yeah.
I don't usually drink Gatorade, but I might have one now.
Spoil yourself.
I'm going straight for the mimosas.
Yes.
Sounds pretty good too.
A refreshing mimosa after a hard day's work.
Trying to get some donuts and coffee, but I think I might just tell you the mimosas.
Last question for all three of you guys. What do you recommend a newbie, for say, running their 5K for the first time?
Pace yourself, I guess. Be hydrated beforehand. That's it. I mean, wear the right shoes. Pure hydration and know your limits.
I agree with him. You just really got to pace yourself, especially when I first started out. I didn't know what I was doing. Learn how to breathe, ask somebody around you. Don't be afraid to pace yourself. That's probably the number one thing that you have to do.
If it's your first one like in a while, or just the first one in general, like definitely know your limits. The first one is always about finishing. It doesn't matter the time. Pacing yourself is key. You want to start off slow and then give it your all at the end.
That's good, guys. I want to just thank you guys for being a part of this documentary, being part of this moment we're sharing all together as Nike Santa Monica employees. And that's all I have for you guys today. Is there any closing words that you guys want to say? You know, family, you want to shout out to anybody?
Shout out to our store, Nike Santa Monica. Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm glad to be a part of this.
Shout out to people that hired me.
Yeah.
Majay, Morgan, George, shout out camera crew.
And yeah, that's about it, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Bye.
What is this?
It's so fun.
We're just doing this?
Yep.
Ready up!
Swoosh.